So the whole object behind loading is to keep the energy flowing until we're ready to deliver it the way that we want to. Hey guys, I want to show you one of my cornerstone teaching points as far as helping guys understand their swing today and helping them get the idea of how important it is to be on time. And a lot of times I think guys don't really use their load effectively because we start trying to load for power more than we load for timing, and that load has everything to do with the time. And so this is what we're going to work on. The drill I'm about to show you guys with Russell here is to have that player work on his load, but understand how his load is affecting his rhythm. And when we're going through that load, that span of time is actually timing something very, very specific, okay? So the whole object behind loading is to keep the energy flowing until we're ready to deliver it the way that we want to. And it's usually negative energy, opposite energy, potential energy. Think about it like throwing a punch. I pull my punch back, keep going until I decide to deliver the blow. If I pull that thing back and I stop, that potential energy is gone. So what typically happens is if I stop, then I want to pick up and go again, but by that time I've missed this much of my load because I started, stopped right here, and now my load wants to start up again, so now I'm going from here to there, and I'm only using that much of that potential energy. So in our swing, it's a big piece of why I have my guys start 50-50 so we can use every ounce of the load possible. But in that time, we're not just loading to store power, but we're loading for timing. What are we timing? We are timing the amount of time that it takes for that pitcher to get the ball from his hand into contact zone. Not to the catcher's mitt, not into the strike zone, into the contact zone. All right? And throughout that span of time, typically, we should be starting our load before the ball has come out of hand. All right? It doesn't matter what point you select when you want to start your load. The number that matters is the load, the timing of the load that makes you the most consistent. All right? So maybe my load might be for 3 seconds, or my load might be for 5 seconds, or my load might be for 7 seconds. That number is not dictated by the pitcher. That's your number. But how can I get my number that I'm comfortable loading with to match up with the amount of time it takes for him to release that baseball and get it into the zone? All right? And the more we can sync those numbers, the better hitters we're going to be on balls in the zone. Okay? So this drill, I just call it a timing drill off the tee. What I do is I give the player a target number, and he has to start his load and cannot stop that load until I hit the target number, okay? So I'm going to show you guys a different angle so you can see him going into his load and when he's starting his swing, and you'll be able to hear that count to see exactly what's going on. So the number that we're going to go with here is a 3 count. What you'll notice is when I count, I always start with the 0. 1 is not a second. 0, 1, that's a second. So we must start on 0. So we're going to go with a 3 count first. Notice how he gets his load started. It does not stop until we get to target number. All right, so we're going with a 3 count. Ready? 0, 1, 2, 3. Good, reset. All right. Next thing we're going to go into a 6 count. Use some common sense here. Let's use some logic. Use some logic. So if it's going to be a 6 count, my load is going to be much slower, but we have to stay in motion. So we're going with a 6. Ready? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Reset. All right. So we went with a bigger number. Now we're going to go just the opposite. Just the opposite. We're going to go with a 0. 0. Ready? 0. Okay? Relax. So what we need to realize with the 0 count, why would I do a 0 count? And that's a perfect example for young guys. I use a 0 count to help them understand. If there's 0 seconds available, there has been no load. And naturally, instinctively, what your body wants to do is load. If you don't load, you're not ready to swing. Okay? So this is this drill I use to also emphasize how important it is to load and how important it is for that load to be incorporated with the timing in which that ball gets into the zone. So if you're not loading, you're not going to have power for sure. And if you're not loading, you're not going to be able to be on time with what's going on there. Most times, because the reason why you guys are early or the reason why you guys are late, it's not because you don't have enough bat speed. It's not because you don't have enough talent or skill. That has zero to do with it. You guys are walking back to the dugout saying this guy throws too slow. It has zero to do with him throwing slow. Everything to do with how you manipulate your load. If your load is not on time, you're not going to be on time for the pitch. All right? So guys that have more velocity, you want to start your load sooner. I hate when coaches say get your foot down soon. You get your foot down early. Hitting is not about getting the foot down early. Hitting is about getting the foot down on time. So if I need to do a better job of getting my foot down on time and I'm running late, it only makes sense. If I have to load, start your load earlier so that you're ready to swing earlier. If a guy's throwing slower, start your load later so that you're not getting your foot down too early and you can't be disciplined enough to stay on the baseball. All right? Simple. Keep the game simple.
I got the juice, pull up on you for a coupe, cash for the ghost with the roof. Yo, bitch, she want me to find her. She know I'm dressed in designer. Diamonds the same color, finer. Gucci on me like a liner. Daddy's all over me. Back 'em like grocery. She wanna talk, but no.